Hi guys, so lots of you have been asking in the comments about my first paranormal experiences and how I discovered that I have abilities, to be able to contact the non-living and, make these connections to what I like to refer to as the other world. Now, my sort of supernatural experiences quite literally started from birth. I am one of the very rare people who can actually remember being born. There's only about 1 in 10,000 people who can remember their birth. We actually have a society of us. Well, it's a Facebook group, but we're quite a rare breed, I'd say. And the thing about being able to remember your own birth, it sounds quite fun, but actually it's quite traumatising, and I have sought lots of counselling for it. I actually resented my mother for the first years of my life because I believed she was to blame for this horrible experience I'd had of being born. And let me tell you, it is not a nice experience coming into the world. So that was really the first indication that I had some sort of extra ability, something beyond the regular human, that I could experience these things. Then really the next indication that I had these abilities, shall we say, was I had a very close relationship with my grandfather. And it wasn't until I was about 5 years old, in conversation with my mother, that we discovered he'd actually been dead for, many years, long before I was even born. And the grandfather that I'd built my relationship with was actually a spirit. As you can imagine, at first my mother was quite distressed by this news and very concerned. However, after some consideration, she realised that my contact with the spirit of my grandfather was really the most affordable kind of childcare she could access. So it actually ended up working out quite well, and we had quite a lovely, thriving relationship, and he really was my primary caregiver at that time of my life. Now, as I grew and as I went through my childhood, I had many paranormal experiences, as you can imagine. Not all of them pleasant, but actually a surprising amount of them were. And I'd say the majority of my childhood friends were spirits. They were the dead. I actually went to my year 11 prom with the ghost of an 18th century blacksmith. Lovely man. The girls at my school, however, didn't take very kindly to this, and I don't know, call it jealousy, if you will. They started a rumour that the man was actually fake and that I'd gone to prom alone, but we can see from photographic evidence that that was not the case, and that I really did encounter this spirit and take him to the prom with me. We had a really good night, if he was a bit handsy. As I'm sure you can understand, these paranormal experiences are fraught with pain and suffering. So I got to a point where I'd had enough, and I didn't know how to manage these abilities and this power that had been bestowed upon me. So I told my mother that I wanted to seek an exorcism to try and get rid of these powers. My mother misheard me when I told her I wanted to be exorcised, and she signed me up for the local gym, which in turn did actually do me some favours as I was a big girl. It took me some time to get used to my abilities and learn how to manage them. It was really quite overwhelming to be so young and have such power and responsibility. I didn't know how to deal with it, but that's when the ReBunkers came into my life. I met Billy at a convention in the early noughties, and it really was the beginning of the rest of my life. And forming the ReBunkers, has really been my saving grace, because it taught me that I could actually use these powers to help others. I could get them to reach out to loved ones that they had lost and make those connections that had been broken by death. So that really was the beginning of the rest of my life. And I'm so thrilled to be able to do what we do. Please let me know if you have had any paranormal experiences, particularly at a young age, and leave your experiences in the comments below. I would really love to hear about what you've been through, and if you can relate on some level to my experiences. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the ReBunkers so you can keep up with all the latest investigations and paranormal stories. Thank you, and remember to keep seeking the truth, and we will keep rebunking the debunked.